the big problem with the way chastity is viewed is that it's always viewed in a negative connotation, like you can't do this or that, and no one ever sees the positive aspects of it. So what would you say to that?
I think that's one of the greatest arguments for chastity, is that it's a positive. You know, abstinence, as you said, means no sex. That's all it means. It's a negative. If you told me Joe is abstinent, okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Can he not find a date? You know, did he die 300 years ago? You know, like, why is he abstinent? You know, it takes chastity. In order to be chaste, you need to have the virtue of love motivating it, because chastity doesn't come from like a hormonal desire. There's no like chastity gland in your body, you know, and I just want to be more chaste than this other person. Chastity comes from the will, and it's awakened by a desire to love. And when it comes to positive chastity, some of the positive things are that you can fall in love for the right reasons. You know, you can fall in love and get married with clarity of vision. Because some people get married, then they get in a big fight, and then they're like, why did I marry that person? Was it the sex? We were so busy sleeping together, we never even realized we don't know how to solve problems together, that I have issues from my childhood that I've never sorted through, that I need to work through before I'm ready to be a husband. Have we sorted through those things? Chastity gives you clarity of vision. That's why people who get married as virgins have a divorce rate that's about 70% lower than those who won't wait for marriage. I mean, I don't care what your religion are. This is a statistic, this is a study done by a 700-page book, the largest sex survey ever conducted in the United States. And so stats speak for themselves. And so some of the benefits of chastity. People who save sex for marriage they're 6 times as likely to be faithful to their spouses within marriage. It's training in faithfulness. Do you really want a husband who can't say no to sex? No, I won't ask that question to guys, because they're like, oh, yeah, that'd be nice. You know, but the fact is that if we can't say no to sex, what is my yes even worth? You know, but only with self-control can I make a gift of myself. And so that's the biggest thing with chastity. It frees us to love. And I always begin my chastity talks with that prayer. You know, Jesus, we pray today for the gift of purity so that we can be free to love. And so that's what chastity does. It frees college students, high school students, married couples to love, because then they're just not in it for taking, but rather for giving.
I think too, like chastity has to be a way of living and a way of thinking. That like it's a way that you treat other people.
It's the way you dress. It's the way you talk. It's the way, you know, the way we talk can, as guys especially, you know, can look like, we may sound like we're reading from a bathroom stall, you know, all the vulgar stuff. And I was the worst with obscenities growing up, and I didn't understand that that's a part of chastity too. St. John Vianney said that a man who uses obscene language, he said that man, his mouth is a supply pipe that hell uses to vomit its impurities upon the earth. And I was like, well, that says it, you know. The fact is that these saints, they saw 2020. We're the ones who see things kind of blurry because we're so muddled in sin and pride and other things, you know, but we can look at the examples of the saints to see that chastity indeed is more than the absence of sex. It's a whole lifestyle.
A lot of people, though, they think that it's really hard to abstain. Like some of my friends at college, they say, you know, well, I'm abstinent, but not by choice, you know, kind of thing. And so being abstinent is about frustration, you know, and for them, and like not about, you know, liberation. And so they say, you know, chastity and all that stuff, it's just about repression, you know. So what would you say to that?
No, chastity would be very repressive if we were just trying to shove all sexual thoughts out of our conscious mind, because we're sexual beings. You know, sexual desire is not from the devil. Sexual desire is from God. You know, he gave it to Adam and Eve so that when Adam saw Eve's body, he wanted to make a gift of himself. That wasn't satanic. That was straight from God, who wanted them to love in his image in a life-giving way. And so we've got to understand sexual desire is a good thing. But the beauty of chastity is you have those sexual desires, but you're forced to do something creative with them. So instead of shoving them into your subconscious where they just await the opportunity to explode, you start thinking, man, I want to do this with her, but I want to show I love her. How can I show her I love her without doing sexual? Hey, I know what I can do. I can leave little love notes around her dorm room. Oh, I can clean her car when she's not looking. Oh, I can put flowers under her bed so when she goes to bed at night, she's going to find them. You start thinking creatively, and you could see how this would deepen intimacy in a relationship and how the girl would go nuts for this stuff. You know, the girl's not one, you know, I need to go get my Depo-Provera shot, you know. No, she would much rather be like surprised with these little thoughts of intimacy and love. And chastity doesn't cause those things. I'm not saying couples who are sexually active are incapable of them, but chastity encourages us to think out of the box. How can I show love to her in a non-physical way? And in marriage, ask any couple, and that's the fire that keeps the love going.